Let's see what we got going on over here. We got some kind of a Jeep Wrangler product. Busy working on some brakes. We found an issue with this earlier. Check this stuff out real quick.
Worser.
What is more worser about it?
This caliper slide.
What?
Locked in there.
This thing had brakes coming in? What is this, Jeep Wrangler? It's a Wrangler.
Maybe just rear brakes.
Yeah, that's horrible. Slide stuck in there?
Yeah.
Did you get the other one out?
Yeah.
That one?
Oh no, that one's the next one.
Oh wow. Watch your noggin, I don't want to hit you. Look at that. I guess we forgot to lubricate those. Is this a northern vehicle from Rust Country?
Yep. Pennsylvania.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's see what you got there. Oh, inboard?
Yep.
Is that the inside pad and that's the outside pad? That's twice the thickness. And look at the taper on that one. See it? See how this one's really thin right here on that side? It's getting thinner over there on that side, or thicker. It's got a taper to it. And a little crack right there. This pad's delaminating from the backing plate. That one's doing the same thing. Look, see a crack right there? Right in there. How about that? That's a good find. I know what you need. It's the assault hammer. There you go. Yeah, that caught that pretty early. It had a nasty vibration in the rotors. That's what brought it in here. I believe they were hot spotted on the inside due to those shoes or pads. Pardon me, pads getting stuck. Anyway, we're walking out to something a little unique and interesting here. This is a 1988 Chevrolet. This is the Corvette, and it looks kind of race car-ish. It actually looks very race car-ish from Buc-ee's. Yeah, buddy. Clearly it's sitting on a trailer. This thing was towed in, very clearly towed in. And we got a bit of a corrosion problem. You guys see that right there? This is not a brake job video. That's like the last of the problems on this particular car. But we can see we got some major rust action going on. Ooh, look at that. Some Willwood multi-piece brake rotors. Check it out. Yep. How cool is that? Those are bolt together. The hub bolts to the friction surface on the thing. Big 4-piston calipers. Yeah, it's kind of race car-ish on this unit. Let's take a look at the inside. We need to see if this thing can be saved. It has suffered a condition where the steering wheel fell off. You know, right there? That splines in right there. That's the driver can get in and out NASCAR style. Yeah, we've got a blowed up Corvette race car right here. I'm not sure what circuit this thing runs in. It's got a 6-speed. I'm not sure what circuit or like how they run these, like what class this is, but it's definitely a full-on race car. It might be like one of those Sebring type of cars where they do the circle track races. That ain't going nowhere. I like this trailer. Nice and aluminum. I got a thing for trailers. I don't know what it is, but I like them. Anyway, I believe we have a not welded shut door. That's interesting. Usually I'd say they'd close these up and weld them closed. Maybe you can't because it's doesn't have enough ferrous material in there to weld. These are fiberglass cars after all. Got a roll cage in it. There's a bad sign. See that right there? That's our sparking plugs, all 8 of them. Got a new set right here, some NGK V-Powers. But the issue is, this thing took on some salt water after one of the hurricanes, and we're working on a flood damaged car. And I believe from the looks of things, we're gonna need to replace some modules right from the get-go. We've got looks like a PCM right here. Let's see if these connectors are gonna unconnect. See if there's any kind of corrosion damage going on inside. I don't even know if I can get it to unclip, to tell you the truth. Interesting. Not okay. I got it. And this appears to have minimal corrosion. I see something. Yeah, I see something right there. Look at that. See, there's some corrosive action going on right here. Little heat blanket in there. Yeah, this thing kind of needs stripped out. I think the wires are going to be okay, but we need to get some kind of anti-corrosion business all over these connectors. I'm going to guess that this PCM in here is junk and is going to have to be replaced. I believe this is a fuel-injected vehicle. That's aluminum. Got a aftermarket type of fuse box here. See that? Fire suppression. I don't know if the water line was up to the dash or not. It appears to kind of have stopped. Yeah, it was up here too. Look at that. There's a bunch of corrosion on the back of the switch here. Yeah, this thing was very, very much underwater. I'm skeptical of my ability to repair it. The bright news is there's no creature comforts inside of this car. So if, oh yeah, look, there's corrosion up here too. Yeah, this thing it had water up over the doors, I bet. I bet this whole car was underwater. Glass looks good. I believe they cleaned it up a little bit before it came over here. I wonder if the fuel cell took on water. Got rust up here. Hoping we didn't get any inside of the tank. It depends on the vent system for this tank. Yeah, I was reluctant to accept this particular job. I don't really believe... that doesn't open. I don't really believe that it's very cost effective to attempt to salvage some of these flood vehicles. But this was a particular case, and being a Corvette, that's cool. Being a Corvette and being a custom converted race car, I figured I'd give it a shot, see if we can't bring it back to life. Oh, let's get the hood up. Now the owner, ooh, I'm gonna need a hood prop. The factory hood prop's been deleted. Hang on here, let's let her back down. Stay right there. We have inside some plumbing. We'll use this. Here, let's try this hood opening situation again. Oh, it might be fiberglass, but it's still got some gravity in it. Tell you what, we'll put that right there. That should be sufficient, I believe. So the owner of this vehicle, he said he drained all the fluids out of it, transmission, the engine, I think power steering, maybe the differential, something like that. I believe they drained out all the fluids on this unit in an attempt to save everything. Can't even reach that crank bolt in there. What size is that? Feels like an 18 millimeter. Let's try to bar this engine over and see if it's gonna turn, because we need to determine that first. We got fresh oil in it. Yeah, they drained the oil, put some oil in there. That's brand new oil, it's never run. And I understand that the spark plugs were pulled and they were filled with some Marvel mystery oil. It's mysterious. We don't know what it does, but it does something. Well, we've got ourselves a small block Chevrolet. This is that's the original intake manifold. I'm wondering why there's been no heavy mods to the intake system on this. Look, fuzzy corrosion. Look at that. Maybe there's like rules for the race car classes where there's things they can do and things that they can't do. That stayed dry, that's good. I wonder if water got into the distributor. Gonna want to check that too. That stayed dry. Got a lot of rust here on top of this coil. See that? Makes me wonder if we had water this high. I think we did. There's really no clear water line on it. I believe they must have pressure washed that off. I'd really like to know how high up it got. Got to find some kind of indicator in here. Maybe in the inside. No, I think they cleaned it up really well. Yeah, when the salt water floods things, it leaves like this nasty silt, which is just all the filth and biodegradables that are floating around suspended in solution, and that's where you'll see your water line from. In fact, here's a flood car right here. Yeah, see that? There's the water line on this one. Right there, midway up the door. Very clear water line. Yeah, this one suffered the same thing. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. A lot of corrosion. Anything electrical is just not gonna do well. Look at there. That's our ground wire. See, the problem is you put in work on a car like this, man, you end up with never-ending, non-stop electrical problems. Yeah. Like bad grounds. This has got to be pulled out of there. Oh, let's see. Yeah, most of... Oh, look at that. There's a ram air duct coming in through what would have been the marker turn signal. It's plumbed over here with some flexi pipe or whatever. and then that's blown straight into the brake rotor for brake cooling. Yeah, this looks like a Sebring type of race car, circle track car. It's not a drag strip car, it's a circle track car, or an oval, or a multi-turn type of deal. Yeah, that's mysterious oil. Okay, alternator's smoked. I think I might have one of those. Probably that pulley there, that's kind of junkish. Yeah, all this is highly corroded. This water got into the engine, I believe. Yeah, all this is very similar to what we see in that van behind us. So yeah, we had water in over the doors for sure. This thing was trying to be a boat, is what it was trying to be. What do you guys think? Is this car repairable? I mean, tubular exhaust, I guess that's okay. Where's the battery? That's what we need. They're usually like in the fender, aren't they? I bet she's out back hanging out. Yeah, there it is down there. Looks like they put a new one in it. New batteries. Let's see. I can't see. Let's get in here. Little white Corvette. Yeah, I don't know if that battery's been changed out or not. It looks new, 924. So they just built it. The flood happened in 1024, so it could have thrown that in there after the fact. I just don't know. Okay. Tell you what, I'm gonna get a ratchet and a socket to fit that crank hub. Let's see if this thing is gonna turn over or if it's not. I guess that's step one, see if the engine's locked up due to saltwater corrosion. Is that the... Oh, that's the battery for the winch. I see what we're doing here. No, that's a spare? I don't know. Yeah, this is the winch setup right here, right? No. It's the storage compartment for the winch. Okay, so that is the winch battery. Let's see what we're doing. All right, good to go. Let me go get some tools and see if this engine's gonna come or turn or rotate or do something. Let's see if we have anything to work with here. Okay, jumper box for later just in case. 18 mil socket and a flex head extension ratchet. So we're gonna go in there and try to get a hold of that crank pulley. We can't see the bolt on it. There's the pulley there, bolts in the center, and we're gonna try to bar this over, see if the internals are going to rotate freely or if they're seized up. That's what we wanna know. So let's see, super tight squeeze. Let's try this. Take the socket off. Try to put that socket on first, make sure I have the right size, which I do not. Feels like a 16, which is, oh, there it is. Oh, I thought I just lost the socket. Doomed. Let's try the 16. That was the 18. And 16 is the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Get on there. Very graceful, I know. This is not frustrating to do at all. Uh-oh. That's not okay. It's not budging. Okay, attempt 2. Now I'm tightening up the crank bolt. That crank's not budging at all. I switched it out with a deeper socket for a better angle on it. That's not moving. That's a bad sign. I was hoping this thing would turn over, but it's not. Okay. That makes this horse a different color. changing ECMs and fixing grounds is one thing, and changing pulleys and whatnot. But man, I'm at a loss. Yeah, changing engines is not okay. Maybe, I wonder, let's take the belt off. I wonder if it's just a one of these accessories that's locked up and not so much the crank, because that crank shouldn't be locked up. It really shouldn't. Yeah, well, I mean, it did get salt water in it. Yeah, oil floats on top of water, so if this thing filled up this high with salt water, that means it would have displaced all the engine oil, which means the engine's full of salt water. We might need to pull this apart and rebuild it. Yeah, let's get that belt off of there, and we'll see if any of these pulleys is locked up. I imagine this alternator's locked up solid. So let's get the belt off and then try to bar it over again. That's a good idea. Let me get my belt removal tool and we'll try again. I choose the Switzerland Army knife. I got it when I was in the Swiss Army. See, it's the Swiss Army right there. See that? This one should do it. I probably have a better tool for removing this, but I don't have to worry about putting that belt back on, so we're just gonna chop it right off. Problem solved. We're gonna fix this car right now. And then the belt does that. Come on, belt. Making me, it's not okay. What are you doing? I have too much flex in my rib. Can't do this one-handed. Oh my God, you're cutting people's cars up. No, why would you do that? Okay. Belt's out of there. The nadir is not locked up. I stand highly corrected. I figured this alternator was junk, and that's free spinning. That pulley moves, this pulley moves. That's not good. That means our crank is locked up, very much so. So the other way to try to free it up is to pull the starter out of it and maybe get a pry bar on there and try to use the teeth on the flywheel to turn it, but I can't really do that on the trailer. Yeah, we'll have to get this on a lift, which I'm a little shy of right now. What's this? It's shiny, it doesn't look flooded. That is a flashlight. Ooh, it works too. It's like an underwater flashlight. Red? Okay. Hope it's off. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I know it's possible where we can fix this thing up, but what I take major issue with is I believe that water did go in to the engine, and if the engine is full of water, then that means that crank and the bearings and the timing chain was also full of water, and that also means that the valve train was probably full of water. Let's see if we can see anything under there. What do we got here? 10 millimeter. Let's pull a valve cover off of it. Take a look. See what we can see. All right, we're escalating. I got the wobble 1/4-inch drive. Let's pull these valve covers off. I bet they're clean inside. I mean, water could have come in through that breather or the PCV right through here. That's also a possibility. Yeah, that's salt water in there too. See all that? That's all salt water. Man, this is a shame. However, I did just locate a faulty valve cover. See that? That's broken. Yeah, we're getting somewhere with this. Yeah, this thing was totally submerged on this side. Oh, yeah, that means it's all full. Everything got water in it. I don't have a lot of hope for this car, you guys. I think this engine's toast. That stayed clean. There's no salt water in there. Yeah, I think this thing's pretty much toast. We need to pull the engine out and disassemble it. Probably needs a rebuild on the internals on the engine. Yeah, pretty much I think everything we're looking at needs to be redone. We've got a good rolling chassis here at this point. If water filled up this engine, and I know it filled up the transmission, so that's probably also in some pain. That's salt water right there, full. Oh yeah, oh man, okay. Yeah, so the coolant bottle's full of salt water as well. Awesome, must have came in through like through the cap. That cap's not the greatest cap. I mean, it's vented too. So yeah, that's full of salt water. I don't think the actual engine cooling system's full of salt water, but there's a bunch right there in the bottle. Hey, yeah, so what we've got here, guys, is a lot of parts. We've got a lot of good race car parts. I'm sure there's stuff on this engine that can be saved, like those trick flow rocker arms. The cylinder heads are probably fine. Those are good cylinder heads. Those are trick flow heads. But all this ignition stuff right here, that's probably junk, because I imagine water came in under that cap and corroded out the distributor, so that's got to go. Let's see about some electrical connectors on these fuel injectors. Yeah, those stayed dry. They didn't get, water didn't go inside of those. That's good. So that stuff's okay. We probably have a lot of miscellaneous sensing elements that got water inside of them just through their plastic cases. Mass airflow sensor, that guy's junk, that's a guarantee. It's got heater elements and sensing elements in the airstream. And if water came into this, which it did, then that mass airflow is junk. So yeah, pretty much all the sensing elements on this thing are no good. The brakes are probably okay. Transmission, I'm certain it got water in there, and that also might be locked up. PCM, wiring harness, fuse block, all the ground wires. Yeah, we need this car needs a total rebuild. That's where it's at. Do you guys concur? What do you think? Is this thing kind of worth saving as a toy? Yeah, sort of a tall order. But I mean, these race car guys, though, they're built a little bit different. They don't see things the way I do, and the race car guys might be like, oh, this thing's prime for upgrade and improvement, that's doable. But there's no easy solution here. This car needs stripped down. Everything needs cleaned up, taken apart, disassembled, decrustified. See, and even if you get it going again, you run into like the long-term problems, like these brake lines right here. All that rust on those metallic surfaces is not what you want to have when you're coming around turn 3 doing 125 pushing 3 G's. I know that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. You don't need to have rusted brake line action and have a hydraulic failure while you're racing, because that might end your race. Speaking of brakes, wonder if the booster got full of water. No, that stayed pretty dry. That's cool. So no worries on the booster. No salt water here. That one's good. You can tell the fronts get hotter than the rears. Look at this, watch this. Condition of the rear fluid, condition of the front fluid. A lot more heat coming out of the fronts. So yeah, they run this car, or used to. Let's check the clutch. Can I get in there? Oh, I can't get that off. Okay, well that's no good. How about down here? Anything? No, nothing really. A lot of rusted out exhaust. Look at that. That sucks. This poor Corvette. The engine chain is rusted. See that right there hanging out? It's a good thing a lot of this is aluminum and fiberglass. Yeah, I don't know. Hey Rod, what do you think there, brother? This is a flood car. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to talk. You got in trouble last time. Use your G-rated language. What do you think about this?
I can sign my name and that's about all I can do.
Oh. Okay.
Can I ask you guys' permission? May I speak again? My actions of last 5 videos, I have thought deeply about, and I am truly sorry. After reading the comments extensively and thinking about those poor little children that are walking around the house that were saying, I don't even want to.
You can't say that.
I don't even want to say I deeply felt ashamed. So, moving forward, we're going to use not PG, but G-rated terminology here on the visiting side of Ray's channel when I come. And with that being said, we're now going to talk about this full race car that has now been submerged under salt water. Haha, you guys got salt now. Yeah,
Salty.
you guys got it now.
Yeah, nobody's salty anymore now. That was a very well thought out and talented and passionate apology. Oh, and he took his sunglasses. He means it, you guys. Yeah, that was actually my fault though, because I didn't edit that. I did not edit that video very well, and I didn't pay attention to your colorful word choice, and so I actually accept responsibility. So I also owe you guys an apology because I subjected you to this guy uncensored.
I am smart and educated. I just choose to use words that would make you think otherwise.
Bro, if that's the worst thing they called you, then you're doing well. You should hear the stuff they call me. Oh, it's bad.
Do they know that you're not supposed to have supposed to have spark plugs like that open hole?
Yeah. Well, he had to let the salt water out. This is hurricane flood. This hurricane flood, yeah. It had water, from what I can guess so far, over top of the engine, and I pulled a valve cover off that other side. There's salt water all over the place, so it's been in the timing cover. It's been everywhere. In the crankshaft, and water goes down and oil goes up. So since water was coming into this engine, that means it displaced all the oil out of the crank, and the rotating assembly was submerged in salt water, and it's locked up at the crank.
Would you even want to rebuild something like that, or would you just repower it? Because you're gonna take everything, every single piece.
Well,
it has to be cleaned, it has to be machined, it has to be honed, all that.
Well, here's the deal:
oil galleys.
It's a race car, so I don't know if we can't do a crate repower on it. I don't think. I mean, we might be able to get a long block or a short block, decent short block, and then we'll pull these heads. These are trick flow heads on here, so those have to go. Oh. So I think it's savable, but the transmission's in the same boat. It's a boat.
Didn't even think about it.
It's a manual trans too, so it would have filled in through the vent, floated all the oil out of it. The oil would have left.
Was there water in the booster?
No, not in the booster.
Oh, wow.
But there's a PCM over here under the dash. That's been submerged.
Yikes.
See it right there? All the ground wires so far we found on this thing are junk. They're already rotted out, and it's only been sitting here a couple weeks. I mean, and that happens immediately. You can take a car or a piece of metal or a boat motor or whatever, you put it underwater, and it's fine. It'll sit down there corrosion-free for a long time. As soon as you pull it out of the water, and you start exposing it to the air, the oxygen, that's where you start to oxidize, and then we get the corrosion, which on ferrous metals, that's our rust. So if we would have left this thing underwater, it wouldn't be rusted, but since it's out of the water, now it's starting to corrode very heavily.
Isn't it crazy what raw iron does to when it's exposed to the atmosphere?
Oh, yeah.
When you look at the aluminum, it looks just as nasty.
Yeah, I think the aluminum's worse. That salt on that aluminum, it's just eating it alive, man.
Well, that's a classic example. Not only Delco, but Ford likes to put two dissimilar metals together. So we'll put a steel bolt in a captured aluminum thread, you're threading it into intake on a head or something.
And you're asking for it to thread together. That's why you use stainless steel bolts in aluminum. You'll never have that problem. But down here in non-salt road area, Mr. Snowman, down here we don't experience that. It just
you got your ears on,
the parts. You got your ears on, Snowman. Yeah, the parts just come apart down here unless they've been under the ocean. But I bet you I can still get that fastener out of there.
We should have been filming when I did your wheel bearing and how that thing just effortlessly.
Oh, dude, he changed the wheel bearing in my Silverado. That ABS light that's been on. Changed the wheel bearing in it, and he's over there just pucker faced, upset because you take something apart and the pieces just come apart. There's no beating on it with a hammer. There's no torch. There's no soaking it for 3 days in penetrating oil.
When he first asked me, I'm just like, wheel bearing.
Yeah, I asked him to put a wheel bearing on. He kind of cringed, man.
I'm gonna take all this Amsoil out of the back of your truck first. Let's see how long that goes.
Hey, thanks for that, man. Yeah, his appointment no called, no showed. So the man flies down here from Detroit to do some work, and folks don't show up. That's bad business. You get on the no-fly zone for that.
Ooh.
Just saying. I mean, you got to keep appointments. I mean, it's
I
how
was
it is.
at Wawa though, and the lady was so friendly. After me paying for fuel, she gave me a free large Wawa soda drink. So
Yeah,
I didn't say pop.
Not a pop. Yeah, we don't pop down
And
here.
I proceeded to tell her that I was not from this area, and I was from Detroit, and that we don't have Wawas. And I would love to talk to the owner or the dude who's in charge of Wawas and be a strong advocate to have Wawa in the northern states, because not only do the employees own like 41% of the business.
It's like
or the
Publix.
company. Yeah. It is, man, I'm going to Wawa every day since I've been down here. So.
Uh-huh. It's nice, isn't it?
Excuse me.
It's a very, very fancy gas station. It's so much, it's almost, yeah, you know what, I almost spoke too soon. I almost said it's almost kind of like a Buc-ee's, but that's not even in the same ballpark. This is like it's like the Costco Superstore, Six Flags of gas stations. And I mean, the other guys are trying. Wawa's got it dialed in. They've got a really good, like their deli or whatever, where you get your food.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the lunch place, like the wraps and the burgers. That's pretty decent food, especially out of a gas station. But I think the models are shifting. They're no longer gas stations. They're more like a little
convenience store.
Well, not even so much that.
Wawa.
Speedway. The convenience stores of Wawa. Like you broke my brain there for a minute. I'm like, that's the wrong jingle. That doesn't fit together. What?
Is this like race certified hood prop? Does that come with the
It's
car?
ultra lightweight. It cut the air from underneath you. It's got a fuel line that'll hold an extra gallon of gas.
No kidding.
Shaved a half-inch off of it. Shaped it like a bullet.
Wow.
Because tires wins the race. Cole, loose is fast, and on the edge, you're out of control.
America.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's a great day for America today. We did a lot of American stuff yesterday,
America.
and today it's a nice, peaceful American day.
I don't know.
It feels pretty good out here.
If it was my uniform, but I mean, I have this thank you courtesy to Zeekster. I mean, I look like I work in a
think
garage.
your uniform looks pretty good. I'd hire you.
Well, I'm at Wawa, and the person behind me, she said, I appreciate what you do. I'm like, she doesn't know what I do.
You look like an EMT.
Okay, well, she's like, I appreciate what you do.
That's why she gave you free soda.
This is the customer.
Oh, okay,
She's
okay.
like, did the election turn out how you wanted it yesterday? I said, America.
Well, the country's not on fire, so there's that. I'm just glad the place isn't burning to the ground today.
Somebody was really happy.
You know, and speaking of which, anybody who's not happy with our electoral process, please don't burn down the country again. We don't want to do that, and I don't think people are going to receive that very well. We're kind of just, please don't.
Can't we just live?
Yeah, we would all like to get along. You know why? Because if you look at both sides of the spectrum, both sides say they want the same thing, and they do. We want peace and prosperity. We don't want all of our money disappearing, and we would like safe and secure communities. We all want the same thing. But for some reason, when we get in the same room, we go, no, we hate you because of one issue. You know, why don't we focus on the 900 things that we all have in common and not the 2 things that we don't? How about that? Because this needs to end, because it's either going to end peacefully or it's going to end violently. Like, those are the only options, right? We either cut it out and sing Kumbaya, or we're going to start killing each other. So
I remember growing up, and you know, it's like the early 90s. It's like, you know, we can remember just living. I mean, I know we weren't cognitive of what the adult stuff was going on, but it's like when you think back now, it's like, can't we just go back to where we could just go play and come back when
seriously,
you guys are,
yeah.
just go, bye,
Just
see you
come
later.
back before the street lights come on.
We don't have to
and then
worry.
you're good.
This is different perception.
I'd like for us to do that. That'd be
perception.
nice. Yeah, let's all behave ourselves moving forward here. We have opportunity. So,
What are those?
drywall screws. Yeah, we found them. We got the drywall screws. Hold up.
What are those?
We got the Home Depot drywall screws. A-Rod got it.
Wait.
That's a piece of wood. That's wood right there.
Dude, show them where the headlights are.
Where are they?
You gotta pop them up.
Well, yeah, well,
there's
not
no
anymore. Yeah, no, they're supposed to be. Well, there's another Vet right there with broken headlights.
You know
These
what that
are
reminds me of is the Herbie car.
the Herbie car. Ooh.
Herbie goes man.
Yeah, it does look like the Herbie car. Yeah, see, they got little hatches on them, and they're vacuum operated. It takes engine vacuum with like a big diaphragm thing. You flip the switch in the dash, it sends vacuum to the diaphragm, and then whoop, you get the lights that pop up. Really cool thing, but they never worked. And they really never worked 30 years later.
The Fords were the same way. The Lincolns, the Thunderbirds that have the, you know, the little doors that come up.
Yeah.
You had one, it'd be...
Yeah, one comes up, the one's halfway. I think the Mazda Miatas were the same way too.
What do you guys call a vehicle that's got one headlight out? You guys call it padiddle? I remember playing in high school.
Padiddle?
Padiddle. Like, you be a car coming at you. Ah, padiddle! Did you have to, like, hit your buddy or something?
I don't know. Nope, that wasn't my my regional thing.
Oh, that must be a Detroit.
That's a Detroit thing.
Detroit.
Detroit. It's Detroit.
Hey, I'm gonna go wash
See?
up. Thank you guys for letting me have your attention back, and I hope you guys have a good dinner.
Good show there, brother. Check you later. And on that note, I think we're about done too with this one. I've seen enough carnage on this to know sort of moving forward what we need to do, and we need to disassemble this car and decorrode it and rebuild the electrical system. Probably put a short block in it, swap the heads out, pull the transmission out at the same time, have that sent out, rebuild it, take the axle apart, see if there's any damage in the axle, rebuild it, and then after we do all that, it'll be ready for race day. That's gonna take a while. I can tell you that right now. It's gonna kind of take a while. If we don't want to do all that and you want to throw away your car, I'll buy your trailer from you, because I do have a trailer problem and I don't have any trailers that are aluminum, so that's I think that's best I could offer. Anyway, guys, at this point, I think we're about done, like I said, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. We're gonna finish this video out. I'd like to appreciate words. I'd like to thank you guys for being here and experiencing this video with us. I certainly appreciate your viewership. It supports the channel, especially since you are here all the way to the end. That helps the algorithms out immensely. The other thing that helps us out a little bit are those likes and subscribe buttons. That's the kind of stuff that YouTube uses as information to decide whether or not to promote this content to other potential viewers. That's good for me and that's good for them. So if you guys wouldn't mind, engage that like, subscribe, and send me a comment down in the comment section below. If this video made appeal to somebody that you may know, send that over to them via the share option in YouTube, and that will also help to promote our what I consider fantastic content, which is better than cable TV. We have less commercials here. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna start babbling on, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Again, thank you guys for watching, and before I go, I'd like to remind each and every one of you to not forget to have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, end of Chevrolet Corvette flood damage car, end of transmission, end of engine, end of electrical wiring harness, end of PCM, end of ground body mounts, end of rear axle, end of sensors, end of everything on this car, end of video.